what are the steps that we need to take as allies to move towards reconciliation? So just some pearls to leave you with. I'm sure many of these things you've probably already written on your papers. Exercise humility. And we talked about self-reflection. The process of self-reflection is continual and lifelong. It's an attitude that you have to adopt. You have to reframe the way you approach your situations. And you really need to incorporate these frequent check-ins where you ask yourself whether you are being biased or discriminatory in a certain situation. Be critical of any motivations. Are you doing this work to feed your ego? Is it good to put it on a CV? Is that why you're doing this? Just do those check-ins and ask yourself. And acknowledge that the conversation is not about you, that you're a facilitator for a greater conversation. We all have work to do, as we mentioned. Engage Indigenous peoples as leaders and equal partners in developing health interventions. As physicians, we have quite a bit of privilege and power, and we can use this privilege and power to shift power dynamics, to pass the mic, if you will, right? To transfer the benefits of this privilege to those who have less. And understand your role. What is your story to tell? And how do you facilitate someone else's story to be told? And this is important because you may be called upon to give your opinion as an expert in Indigenous health because you do a lot of work in this area. But you are not the expert in Indigenous health. And in fact, what you should do in that situation, when possible, is find someone who can share their voice, an Indigenous leader and advocate. If you have an opportunity to speak at an event or something to that effect, take that opportunity to find an Indigenous partner who can share, who you can facilitate to share their voice, to amplify their voice, which may not often be heard. Engage in meaningful dialogue and take action together. And this is an important one. Since we have so few Indigenous health leaders, we often draw on the same champions over and over again, and we exhaust them, we overburden them. So I think be mindful of that and create supports or ways that you can support Indigenous leaders to continue doing their work. And remember, Indigenous people are the experts of their own realities and histories.